To Ethiopia to assist with logistics and investigations following this morning's Ethiopian Airlines crash. All 157 people on board flight ET302 were killed when the plane went down 6 minutes after takeoff. The plane bound for Nairobi, Kenya, went down near the town of Bishoftu, 62 kilometers southeast of the Ethiopian capital, Addis Ababa. Now, correspondent Kenyatta Wanjoy joins us now from Addis Ababa for the latest. So, Kenyatta, let's just talk about that. What is the latest information we have about the plane crash?
Well, just like you said it earlier, everybody on the plane, on the plane perished, and the Ethiopian Airlines Chief Executive Officer has confirmed that. That was about a few hours ago when he had a press conference. But he also highlighted that it might be too early to say the cause of the accident, although there are a lot of fingers pointing towards technical issues, technical hitches. One of the issues that he has highlighted is that with the investigations, it will not only be done by Ethiopian Airlines itself, but a committee has already been formed of investigators, which will include officials from Ethiopian Airlines, Ethiopia Civil Aviation, and the manufacturer of the plane itself, which is Boeing. And also the Chief Executive Officer has also highlighted that the pilot has stood by the pilot and said the pilot who was on board, who was taking this plane, was an experienced pilot who had started flying in 2010. And with this particular kind of plane, 737 Boeing, he had started in 2017. We are told that the Ethiopian was half Kenyan, half Ethiopian. The pilot was half Kenyan, half Ethiopian. And so far he had a record that stood for itself. He had flown over 8,000 hours. So Ethiopian Airlines is asking everyone to be calm and has promised that it will cater for all the logistics and all that for the families of those who lost their loved ones.
Kenyatta, with regards to the pilot himself, we understand that at some point that he did call in raising suspicions that they're having trouble, and he was given an instruction or the clearance to return back. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. The CEO of Ethiopian Airlines has confirmed that the pilot made a stress call and said that he was having technical problems with the airplane, and he requested to turn back and go back to the Bole International Airport, which is just about 50 kilometers away from where the plane crashed, which by air should be just a few minutes or so. So he was granted permission to go back to Bole, and that's when the signal got lost, and the next thing they had, the plane was down. The CEO of Ethiopian Airlines described the area as a plain ground where the plane had crashed, a plain ground, but when they arrived there, he used the words the plane was inside the ground and all they could see was just smoke.
And with regards to the Civil Aviation Authority or even the CEO, has there been any more detail about which nationalities were on board the plane?
Yes, they've already confirmed from the 149 passengers, there were about 35 nationalities on board. But the most affected is Kenya, because we know this plane was going from Addis Ababa to Nairobi. So obviously, most Kenyans were traveling home and all that. So we have 32 Kenyans who perished. That's the biggest number. Then we have Ethiopians who are about 17. That means 8 crew members and 9 passengers. Then also we have 18 Canadians. There were also a Russian on board. There was a Ugandan on board who perished. There were British, about 8 of them, and also Americans, about 8 of them. So it's an array of about 35 nationalities all through. And we understand that different embassies have been talking to Ethiopian Airlines to try and see who of their nationalities were on board.
Now, Kenyatta, we know that the plane took off from OR Tambo Airport. Were there any South Africans at all, according to the latest information?
No. The information that we have got from Ethiopian Airlines, they have released the number of nationalities and the number of people who perished by nationality. We do not have any South African, but there is some from the southern region. We've got somebody from Mozambique who perished. So no South Africans on board. And the fact that the plane actually left early morning from Oliver Tambo, arrived in Addis Ababa at around 6 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and just about less than 3 hours later it was on air going towards Nairobi. People questioned that, but the Ethiopian Airlines CEO said it had already undergone all the necessary technical, or required technical checks before it went on air. Yeah.
Quick one, the message from the Prime Minister. In essence, what did he say when giving his condolences?
He just said he gave his condolences and said he briefs with all the people who lost their loved ones there, and he assured them that the Ethiopian government will stand by all the people who lost their loved ones and ensure that they cannot console them because people died, but ensure that at least all the arrangements are done. So Ethiopian government is taking the mantle here and saying that it will assist everybody who lost someone on the plane.
All right, thank you very much, my colleague in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, Coletta Wanjohi, SABC correspondent in East Africa.